All right.
Let me open this in a. Let me make sure everything is right here. Um, it still absolutely annoys me that YouTube did that. I'm going to repeal it, or try to repeal it.
All right.
This is what really annoys me about you. Well, you can't even repeal it. You can't even get rid of it. Here's what
Uh,
it.
It's not a person doing this, it's all AI.
We use a combination of automated systems. YouTube, you suck. I hope you suck. Suck an egg. Suck an egg. I'm done. Done with this.
You can
all
look
right,
at
gentlemen. Let's knock off the independent. Shut off the automatic. Blood on that throttle. We got to hit his feet. Let's make this stream run. All right. We were going to. All right, gentlemen, or ladies and gentlemen, and others.
Do you mind if
We were
I...
going to talk about the bicentennial units of the previous bicentennial, which was 1975 to 1976. Who wants to lead off the bicentennial part of this?
So, I feel like everyone, the people who are watching this stream, know what the bicentennial is. It's kind of, it's just kind of, you just kind of know. Because if you've been, 4th of July just went by, I'm sure a lot of people were talking about it. Hello, 63 Rail Fanning. But bicentennial railroads were trying to, American railroads in specific were trying to show their, show off red, white, and blue pretty much. But the one thing I just gotta say is, most of these railroads did a good job. Some of them didn't. Now, I want to know this. I'm going to call on each one of you, and I want you to tell me what your least favorite and favorite bicentennial unit is. Jaden?
My favorite I can narrow down to, it's of course the southern units, because all they did was just put a sticker on it, but that was better than just naming the units after certain people. For my favorite, I can't really narrow it down. I'd say a top three would be NNW 1776, Conrail 1776, and crap. I can't think of a third. There's too many good ones. I would say not the ATSF SD45s, but probably the Erie Lackawanna units. It's simple but effective.
Fair enough. Colin?
I think my least favorite would be the one by Kansas City Southern.
That's understandable.
Because, well, if you've seen it, you'll know that it's just like a real random jumble of colors, and it's honestly painful to look at.
Wait, sorry.
But my favorite one, what was that?
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, but my favorite one probably has to go to the Grand Trunk.
Grand Trunk.
Grand Trunk. Fair enough.
I really like that eagle on the side and the red and white stripes on the cab. It just looks good. Props to Grand Trunk.
Fish, as long as you don't go into a 5-hour-long rant about it, what's your favorite and least favorite?
Oh man. So AJ, I remember watching the video by Cal Unit Productions. And I remember I remember him rating all the bicentennial notes. There are only a few that I can remember off the top of my head. I think what is now the Georgetown Loop painted up one of like their little center cabs in a bicentennial paint scheme. I have to say that's probably my least favorite. But then again, despite being a Michigander and the Grand Trunk being a Michigan railroad, I do have to say I do quite like the Santa Fe SD45s.
Those are
as my favorite bicentennial units. Although Norfolk and Western, the NNW unit and the Grand Trunk unit are strong first and second, or strong first and second and third. English.
I'm gonna put this in VC text, but this has anyone else seen the Kansas City Southern one?
Oh
That
my
was
gosh,
the one
that is the
Colin
biggest.
was talking about.
Oh, what
It
is
was
that?
apparently done by
It's
some
an ice
kids.
core.
If
That
I
is a
remember correctly,
hodgepodge of colors. Good lord.
That
Yeah,
is
if I
just-
remember
At least
correctly,
the Southern engine
it was
talks
done
now.
by some school kids.
Here's the thing.
If a locomotive was having an identity, if a locomotive was having an identity crisis, it's this locomotive.
This
What am I?
locomotive had
Who
an
am I?
identity crisis. Who am I?
It doesn't know who he is, where he is, or what it's doing. It just exists.
Hello.
He
how
doesn't
are
even know
you?
how he exists.
You know what?
Hello, how are you?
I'm going.
I am underwater.
I'm going to.
Please
put
help
this-
me.
I'm going to put this image in the
Easy,
stream.
Jimmy, on the accents. Lord knows that might be the next thing YouTube strikes us for.
Actually, I'm going to put a picture in BC text. I know Amtrak hasn't done like a bicentennial unit, which is why I bit the bullet and decided to make a prototypical unit. The red, white, and blue obviously is still there, so I just decided why not to deck it up. This looks like something Amtrak would do, but I'm not too sure.
I could see
See,
that happening, especially with the American flag on the side and kind of like the Amtrak logo.
You know
I
what?
can see that happening if Amtrak had chosen to participate in the bicentennial.
I just thought of something also cool for Amtrak. What if you know how they have like their South Carolina? I remember like they had paint schemes for like South Carolina and such. What if
Yeah.
they did that? Like, what if they made some of their units for all 50 states and like, I don't know. I just thought like, what if they made each unit special to each?
That would be a good
states?
idea.
I don't
Also-
think they would do all 50 states. They might do like the lower 48 states,
Probably.
but I don't think they would do all 50 because there's not any Amtrak trains that run into Alaska or Hawaii. Duh, Hawaii is
Yeah.
Hawaii is
Also-
surrounded by ocean.
Also, if
Wait a
you
minute.
look at the stream, look what I put beside the Grand.
Oh god, it's just it's
It's the monstrosity.
So,
this stream is the most beautiful thing.
My
railroad.
picture beside there.
So, Jimmy John's Pizza. What is your least? What is your favorite and least? Can I also get a pizza too?
I am. I ain't the pizza man, okay? I ain't in charge.
Are you
of
gonna cook that pizza in a firebox of a K-37?
that. Maybe.
Okay, so what is
But,
your favorite and least favorite?
So, okay. So, my least favorite is definitely the Kansas City Southern one. That thing is a hodgepodge. No, thank you. But my favorite one is Boston and Maine 200.
Amen. That is a good choice.
Yeah. Boston and Maine 200's a beauty. I love that thing. I just wish 200 were around today.
Fair.
I don't know what 200's classification is. I'm not sure if she's
Probably
a GP.
38.
Yeah, if it is a GP38, she's probably still around, but if she's not, then that's sad.
Oh, hey.
All right,
It
so
is.
I'm sure you're wondering.
all
what
right,
mine
so
is,
there's
huh?
a comment.
Huh?
All right, so
We know what your favorite is.
It's
No.
the Bessemer one.
So,
It-
63 Real Finny will look
Yes.
at yours soon, but
it is
Honestly,
kind of
I like
obvious.
this.
so my least favorite is the Bessemer one.
What?
What?
Well, that's a surprise. What? Huh?
What the heck?
I am sure that came out
He's
of
turned the table on us, guys. I'm scared.
So
I'll
be honest with you.
Oh, that came out of left field. and
Okay.
slammed me like
I'm joking. Obviously,
That
I
was
need to
I'm
shut
joking.
unexpected.
Unless he's joking with us.
The Bessemer one, in my opinion, is simple.
he has to be
but
joking
it
with us.
isn't like it isn't just how to say this. It's not what I would want It's just
Effective?
it just doesn't. I don't know how to
It's,
say it.
it's simple but not effective.
It's nice, but it's just not
It's
my
simple,
favorite.
but it's not.
I like their
It's-
caboose better. Their
It's
caboose
too
and hot
Oh.
car was way better than their engine. But if I had
Yeah.
to choose a least favorite other than the Kansas City Southern one, just who in their right mind said this is the best idea in the world? Let's do it. Like whose idea was that? Like genuinely.
I don't know. I don't know. Someone was having a very.
Kronk the Lunk is having a strong.
I don't know how to
Borrowed
put this.
spice maple syrup from the Canadian.
You have a stroke.
Actually, now that I
Yes.
think about it, my least favorite apart from the southern ones is actually please don't kill me, but my least favorite is AFT 2101.
That's technically a unit.
Technically.
Technically.
Okay, so do
Yeah.
But it's also the main locomotive for it.
so do you want to know what my favorite is? My
What is
Yes.
your favorite though?
my favorite's the Union Railroad one. I think the Union Railroad one was probably the most underrated. There's only one photo of it in existence, which is the funny thing. So, but my
Oh.
least favorite is
Yeah.
the EJ and
Yeah.
E1. I don't like the EJ and E1. The EastJet and
That's surprising.
the reason I don't like it is it's
Mhm.
basically the Bessemer one, except
It
it
is.
doesn't cover the entire body, and it looks like the freaking what's it called the Highlands.
Okay, we all gotta admit though, the American Brick, best locomotive.
The brick.
The brick.
Yeah.
You fuck
Yes.
that.
No, it's
Before there
genuinely a good
There
engine.
was cute.
It's cute and it's aesthetically pleasing. The scheme is actually pretty well done, if I say so
Yes.
myself.
Scheme well done.
Fair
Its
enough.
internals almost non-existent.
Yeah.
So,
So there was a comment in the stream chat. It says Union Pacific has always been a centennial unit. So
If you're counting the 6900s, then technically they're not.
63 rail fanning, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to there, but the only locomotives that I can think of that got the name Centennials was the Union Pacific DDA 40Xs, the big wide
I
cab
think these.
twin engine 4-axle locomotives that Union Pacific built in like the late 60s, early 70s.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I know
that
what
were
he's
built by
talking about.
EMDs.
the hundreds.
that were built by EMDs, and they were called. No. So AJ, so you're familiar with what the DDA 40Xs
Yes, I
are,
know
right?
what you're talking about. I also call them. People also call
It is
them
basically-
the SD4000s. Or the SD.
Wait a minute. I think I know
didn't
what
know
the
that.
guy's talking about.
Yeah. So.
He's talking about the preamble express.
Oh, that I remember.
Union
Okay.
Pacific 951.
The Preamble Express. I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that. Okay. I was about to go on like a 30-minute tangent about the Union Pacific DDA 40Xs, but okay.
I think we all know what they are by now.
Okay.
Oh God. I would
Never
not.
mind.
Automatic for that.
I found. Never mind. I now have a new least favorite. The
Ooh.
Rock
Oh.
Island. The Rock
Oh, dear.
Island. Look in the VC text.
Oh, the rock.
Let me see this.
Well, you kind of have to cause. Well, you kind of have to cut the Rock Island some slack. They didn't have very much
What?
money to spend at that
No.
time.
It's
No,
no,
it's not-
it's a good
it's not
it's a good
terrible.
one.
Okay.
It's not
never mind.
KCS terrible. It's
I
still
like
a
it, though.
Yeah, it's not as bad as the Kansas City Southern.
Do you want to see the EJ?
Still
E1?
bad, not as bad as that.
No, Crisis City Southern. It's Crisis City Southern now.
Here's the EJ and E1.
That's actually pretty good.
Here's the thing. I don't really even hate it. I just
You're talking about like
not my favorite.
It reminds me
Uh,
of the Cotton Belt one.
yeah. Did SP ever do one apart from 4449, which
Yes, they did, and
I
it's weird.
I tolerate it, but I hate it. Like one day I tolerate it, but the other I hate it.
Okay, so
Okay. I
next thing I
I
want
know
to
I have a
talk
picture of a
about.
DDA 40X in my photo album here.
Ooh, so I do actually want to talk to you guys about
Ooh.
let me think. All right. Do we have any suggestions from the audience? So of the 6 people watching,
Said audience is made up of. There's actually 8 people watching.
it says 7.
7.
Hello.
So yeah. See, we're not completely
It
dead in the
says, oh
water.
yeah, there he goes.
So, okay. So, AJ,
Yes.
I'm posting a picture I'm posting a picture of it shows a DDA 40X, but also has a big boy in it
Cool.
in the VC
That
text.
actually
You
is
mean you mean 6900?
Or 69. Yeah, 6900. Yep.
okay.
Yeah, that's how to display with 23. Yeah.
So now
This is,
Yep.
these are
want
in Omaha, right?
Yes, those are on. So when you're driving, I think it's I-80. When you're driving into Omaha, you look up on the bluff. They're up there. And I think there's like a heavy haulers episode or something, or like
Mega
one of like a
Beavers?
forgotten. Yeah, it was like a heavy hauler episode, like some forgotten History Channel show, which actually showed how they moved those locomotives up there. Which trying to move a big boy,
Oh,
my God, these things are huge.
speaking of
I
which,
think
They
that
moved
about-
a T-54. You know Frisco 1522? They moved one of its siblings with a tank.
What?
Awesome.
did you guys?
Like a
Speaking of
legit-
moves,
That is the power. Oh,
They had to move it across the street just to get it to the park.
I feel like it's kind of under talked
Hmm.
about how the heck they even moved 643 out of a landlocked island in McKean Rocks. Like,
Excuse me?
they had to build rails to get her out of there. Build rails.
they did the same thing
No,
with
it's actually
1361 and all at Horseshoe Curve.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
speaking of which,
How did they do that?
Speaking of which, you want to know something funny? So I'm sure you've all heard
What?
of the Greenville Railroad Museum, right?
No.
No.
So that's
Maybe.
where the O102 is parked, the Greenville.
Is this the Bessemer and
Back,
Lake Erie O10
yes.
No, it's the Union
Union
Railroad O10.
Oh, Union Railroad. I forgot.
So I
Forgive me.
kind of want to talk about that museum. Do you mind if I go into the history of the O102?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
So in the
sure.
1930s,
Favorite topic.
the Union Railroad was looking for stronger power to help with increased loads from the Mesabi Iron Range. So they decided to build O102 switchers specifically for banking. Because some of their consolidations were not working out well. Just like at the time, the Bessemer and Lake Erie was ordering Santa Fe types and Texas types for heavier loads. Those engines worked up until the 50s, where they were sold to the Duluth, Mesabi, and Iron Range. They worked that line until 1962. In 1962, their fires were finally dropped and they were pulled from service. 304 was purchased by the Bessemer and Lake Erie and was hauled from Minnesota all the way to Greenville, Pennsylvania, where they stored it in the roundhouse next to 643 and Consolidation 154. Later down the line, that engine would be donated to the town of Greenville, and a museum was made around it. Before you ask, they had to build 2 switches to switch the O-10-2 and their cars. Along with the O-10-2, the Bessemer also donated a hopper car and a very, very, very rare caboose. The Wheeling and Lake Erie pitched in and gave in one of their cabooses, and Conrail decided to donate an old Erie caboose. Oh, no, not a caboose, a open flat. But here's where something gets interesting. In the 1990s, Union Pacific donated a high-speed caboose.
High speed caboose. What?
So,
What's a high speed caboose?
keep in mind, Greenville, PA is nowhere near any Union Pacific trackage. Meaning,
No.
It's Pennsylvania. They are nowhere near that state.
No, I think the farthest east, quote unquote, that Union Pacific comes is Chicago. Well, no wait, they do go south because they acquired the Katy, I think, and that allowed them to go like the Union Pacific acquired some railroad that I think allowed them to go down into maybe like Louisiana, something. I don't know, but that is interesting. So carry on, AJ.
so the caboose is numbered 25437. I think I said that right. I probably didn't. Let me post it in the VC text in the server. It should be coming up here. Here it is.
Yep, I see
Yep.
it.
I see it.
The CA3 has its collective.
So in
Nice.
For the C11s.
so in these currently they have a broken
Union,
popcorn.
Union Pacific, we're a great big rolling railroad.
Yep.
He can handle it.
Can't handle
Couldn't
it.
handle it yet. League.
We're doing 90 miles an hour down a 4% grade with no working air brakes, and our dynamics are screwed. Help!
Help! Help me!
Continue, AJ.
Help.
Help! Help has a very similar, continues to have a very similar incident to a certain train wreck in 1989 in San Bernardino, California. It's fine. Continue on, AJ.
No house.
No house.
We're gonna get age infected again.
I no longer care. No house, no water, no fire.
And this is how you get canceled a second time, kids.
I've already been
How to
canceled.
get canceled times in a row.
It's fine. Just continue on, AJ. Talking about the museum.
Also, the Greenville Museum has an Erie speeder.
It's fine.
It's awesome.
Wee.
So, well, besides that, another thing I want to talk about is my recent trip to the Nickel Plate Road Museum. It was
Oh, yeah.
it was quite a trip.
The Mad River.
Did any of you guys see the video I made on it?
I did.
I did. It was great.
So, speaking of which,
I'm back.
oh, hello, Jaden. I'm curious. Did you see the video I made on the Mad Rivers Museum?
The intro, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like the channel has gotten a lot more professional, especially with the new Sharon Shenanigans video that just came out. I am still very proud of that. Like, very proud of that.
Yep.
You should be.
Cause
Yep.
There's definite improvement in your content.
like, I also say this: my old documentaries suck. Most of my old content sucks, but at the same time, it has that old charm that I like.
Yeah, your early YouTube videos, when you have successful videos and successful content on your
Language.
channel. I know English is hard sometimes. It's almost midnight here. Uh, you know, choose to play with tubular thwack and smoke pellets. Anyways, so yeah, it is kind of neat to go back and watch your early content of like, you know, oh my gosh, I'm here now, but this is where I started. So,
So,
anyways,
here's
continue
some-
on, AJ.
Here's something interesting. And speaking of the channel, a few things I want to get out of the way. Number one, the best summer documentaries are never gonna come back. Maybe I'll do a remastered 864 video, but there is so little information about these things that I don't even want to touch them anymore. Also, most of my subscribers came from the Railfan memes, so people are wondering why I deleted them. And it's because, yes, I was young when I started making those, and now I realize it's just stealing content, and it just doesn't feel right anymore, so it's gone. It'll never come back, unless it's memes that I've made. They're not coming back. Never. Ever, ever, ever again. Instead, I may start making parodies of... So my most popular video is There Is No Chelsea Yard, but I animated it in 10 minutes. Which is just me animating over San Juan footage. And it has 14,000 views.
Dear God.
Well, yeah, it's San Juan branch line, so people are probably already going to watch that. And of course, I think, you know, funny meme posting is something that the San Juan branch line crew, I think encourages, or maybe encourages. I don't know.
It actually got
but
recognized
yeah.
by Mad James. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, he posted in general and said, "This is fire."
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah.
a few things I want to go over for whoever's watching. How many people? 4. Probably
4.
just us.
Probably. Hello to us.
Who cares? People are gonna watch reruns of this later anyways.
True. Who
So,
actually watches the live stream when it's live? It's fine.
another thing I want to point out is there is no... So, my second most popular is an Oregon Pacific and Eastern 19 Object of the North animation test for a school project. This is a movie that Nicholas first talked about, and I have actually been fully thinking about putting it into production. So it's basically, the concept is it's Emperor of the North, but with objects. It's hard to explain. Because unless you've seen Battle for Dream Island, you probably don't know what I'm talking about.
I have and I do.
But it will probably be like a parody. But I've been thinking about, like, seriously making, like, specifically to get recognized by Twitch. I mean, not Twitch, Glitch. Jimmy, I threw that in.
Jimmy is muted and deafened.
Oh.
So yeah, for anyone that's watching, I too have a YouTube channel by the name of Redline Overload Productions.
Everyone plays that channel.
And yeah, it's fine. I'll just plug mine first. And you know, my channel was rolling pretty good last year. And you know, I had an idea, and this sparked a couple years ago now in 2022, is that I wanted to have like a flagship rail fanning series on my channel. And I was thinking of names, and I thought, you know what? I have I have footage from, my home state of, my home state, Michigan, and Arizona, Ohio, Pennsylvania, here and there. And I thought, well, what if I was to call it America by Rail? And so that's what I called it. So I made an intro, then I would have the footage, do its thing, and then I'll have an outro. And I was pretty happy with how it did. But earlier this year, I was kind of in like a personal crisis, kind of, because I wasn't exactly sure where I wanted to take it from that point, because I already had, let me think here. I had a video that was on that was rail fanning in Durand, Michigan, on the Canadian National, a video of the Cody Park Museum in North Platte, Nebraska, where 3977 is. And I had a video called Steam Locomotive Spectacular, which was Paramarquette 1225, Norfolk and Western 611, and the Durango and Silverton. And then I had a video, and then I think that was all the videos that I posted, but they did well. And as I said, I just kind of found myself in like a personal crisis. And still right now, I'm not quite sure where I want to go with it, because my original idea was that, okay, I'm going to cancel my America by Rail series, and I'm going to bring in like its predecessor, or like its spiritual successor, called Railroad Adventures. And I posted one video, but then I kind of lost the drive to do that. And so I'm still not quite sure when I'm going to do rail fanning videos on my channel. And I'm wondering if at this point I should just not have a series, like either America by Rail or Railroad Adventures, just kind of like edit videos of me just rail fanning and then just post it. Which I think I might just do. I might just not have a rail fanning series, because I feel like that kind of locks me into like a creative bubble. You know what I mean? And I kind of want to be like, it's free and open to do as I want. And so, although I did have a video that took way off. I mean, took off faster than the Orange Boston Special. I did a video on an EMD E8 that served on the New York Central, number 4070. Number 4070. I'll give you the quick rundown in the history of this engine. New York Central 4070 was an EMD E8 built by EMD 50s, 19 exact, at least 1953. And that locomotive pulled passenger trains on the NYC. There's a picture of the locomotive of 4070 pulling a passenger train in Chicago, actually, in front of the Rock Island's Rocket House building, which is neat. And the locomotive served on the NYC pulling passenger trains. Eventually, in the late 60s, got branded as a Penn Central unit. The locomotive was repainted from its NYC colors to the black Penn Central paint scheme, although it kept its original number for the first 2-3 years. It kept like its original number it was repainted from NYC colors to the Penn Central paint, but then for like 2 or 3 years it kept its original number from the 470. Eventually,
You're cutting out really bad.
21. Well, when okay, well, we'll just manage. Anyways, okay, we'll just manage here. Screw it. It eventually became Penn Central, formed into Conrail 4321, and then it served on Conrail for a while until I believe it went to New Jersey Transit in the late 70s, early 80s, and then it was put on the deadline, and it bounced around the Northeast, eventually landing in Bellevue, Ohio in 2001, on the rear of a Norfolk Southern freight train, and it sits in a spur about it sits in a private spur along with a couple other pieces of rail equipment that I can't remember on the top of my head right now. I would have to look at the script as far as how much
Currently
research
under
I did.
private
But
ownership.
yes, it's a locomotive under private ownership. It looks rougher than a stucco bathtub, and it's so ironic because the locomotive. AJ, you were at the Mad River.
I saw
You can
it.
see the locomotive. You can see the locomotive. It is directly on. It is within an arm's reach distance. It is on the back doorstep of the Mad River Nicolet River Museum, and it makes you wonder. It's like, why can't the owner of of said locomotive and said passenger cars whatnot? I know it's not nickel plate or anything like that,
Well,
but
okay,
should
so
just sell the locomotive.
the New York
Like, it is
Central
literally
ran
on the
through
back doorstep.
So the New York Central actually ran through Bellevue. So
Yeah. Well, it makes sense because it's Norfolk Southern that eventually runs through there. So it's Norfolk Southern. And also, folks, if you want a real, I will say this, Bellevue is a bit of an underrated gem in the Midwest. I mean, it's in Ohio. It's not that bad. It's a Norfolk Southern yard. The giant Wick Mormon yard is there. I believe there's an old NKP roundhouse there,
yes,
maybe turntable.
yes, there is.
But-
I saw
but
it.
it's-
And the switching crew is all high hoods, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's just awesome. And the tracks cut through the museum. You could set up your camera by Caboose and just watch trains go by. Like, guys,
They have a
go to Bellevue, Ohio. It's an underrated gem. It is a hot spot in Midwest. Also, the Wheeling and Lake Erie also interchanges with NS there as well. So you got not one but two railroads there, plus the museum.
oh.
How great
speaking of
is
which,
that?
And that's not even including when I went there, the Rio Grande locomotives were up there, along with the fact that there was a foreign power, a BNSF Ace, and a Heritage 2 -9 in the back. So they have a rail fanning platform for you to stand on. Bellevue,
A
Ohio.
purpose-built rail
Yes.
fanning platform.
Rail fanning platform.
Oh
Bet.
yeah, you can also go in
Oh,
the
yeah.
locomotives. I got a personal tour of 757 and the diesel switcher they have there. They even run excursions sometimes with 757. No, not 757. The diesel switcher, but
You had me
I was gonna
going there for a moment. Man.
I was gonna say what? What? 765 has an operational sister.
I wish. I wish.
757 operational.
If I could choose any S7 to be restored, is it an S7?
S2.
Are you talking about the Wabash unit they have there?
No, the.
By the way,
S2.
Ashton, I'm gonna share some pictures that I've got. I'm gonna share some pictures that I've got of the Mad River. I'll put them in VC text, and then you can share them on stream.
Okay.
But yeah, like the Mad River Nicolet River Museum plus just Bellevue is a great place to just lie down and rail fan for a while. It is a fun little town. And it's actually not that far of a drive to go from Bellevue to Fostoria, Ohio, and rail fan the Iron Triangle Rail Park. Which, if you just want maximum train action, go to Fostoria, because you have not one, not two, but three railroads that cross through there.
Do you want
It's
to?
just awesome.
Do you want to know what the ultimate rail fanning spot? Like,
What is
ultimate
it?
Conway.
Yes.
You got ex-Conrail cabooses, you've got high hoods galore, heritage units basically go there daily, you've got foreign power, there was RJ Corman there once, there's always a BNSF or Canadian Pacific unit out there. Heck, there was even a Kansas City Grey Ghost there.
So I'm going to share a couple of pictures here.
So I want to move on to another topic, because I noticed Colin and Jaden, we've been talking about Midwest stuff mostly. Why don't we talk about Florida railroads? So,
Yes, let's go.
Colin and Jaden,
Yes.
you guys have the mic.
All right, where do we start? Um,
Oh no.
okay. The FGAR is somewhat an obscure railroad, and is actually the one I live off of. So, up until 2019, CSX actually had a railroad that ran to the capital of Florida, which is where I live. They sold the line off in 2019 to Rail USA and had it under the brand the FGAR, or Florida Gulf and Atlantic Railroad. They have it's an all EMD powerhouse with mostly SD40-2s and GP38s from leasing companies, but most notably, they have 4 XFEC SD70M-2s, all 4 of which I believe I have caught.
Well, I actually live further east, closer to Jacksonville, but along that same line, and I've seen a couple of those too. And I saw a few. I don't go out rail fanning a whole lot because nothing really comes to my area. At least whenever I have the chance, nothing does. So, so it's very hard for me to catch trains in my area. But I have seen the power you're talking about. SD40s, the SD70Ms.
Well, they have official SD40s in FGAR colors. The flag colors, I have caught at least 2 of them. And they actually have an XUP, 2 XUP GP38s. They have all kinds of stuff down there. I believe 3865 comes from the BN. Don't quote me on that. But
Quote 'em, quote 'em,
coming
quote 'em.
from dang it. Well, coming from going to the SD70-2's heritage, we the Florida East Coast isn't one to get talked about very often, but I believe it is better than most people give it credit for. I mean, sure, it isn't one to put itself on the map, but give credit where credit is due. It is simple yet efficient.
Real quick, I'm gonna go put the
I mentioned
photos.
and assisting in.
Sorry, Colin.
Okay, so all right. So I have a question for the Florida rail fans in this VC. What are your guys' personal thoughts on Brightline? What do you think
It
that's
is
done for
the
the state of Florida?
unlucky. Brightline has to be the unluckiest company to ever exist. I feel so much pity because they always have to deal with so many road crossing accidents, and like 99% of the time, it's not even their fault.
Well, what else could you expect when they're running through a very populated area?
True.
With high-speed trains, no less.
They
So,
run between Miami and West Palm Beach, and that's where anyone like south. That's basically where anyone south of Orlando lives.
Someone, apparently someone was, one time, a guy got drunk at a bar, found out his car was gone, stole someone else's car, and got it not on the road crossing, but on the actual tracks.
So, so Union Pacific, you do realize how we got canceled last time?
God dang it, not again.
It's fine. I don't think.
Well, not really canceled, but we're not age restricted yet. We're not
Yeah,
age
let me
restricted
let
yet.
me shut up while I can. Let me shut up while I can now.
guess what
All right,
just
folks, if you-
happened?
Yes.
Yeah, AJ also did a cool black and white photo of
Okay,
that
let's
same
not
picture.
talk about let's not talk about Brightline again.
Yeah.
'Cause,
What about another Florida railroad, the Florida East Coast?
All right, we just talked about that one. What about CSX? I mean, like
See,
why not just the CSX Florida division?
have we ever found out what the X in CSX stands for?
I thought it stood for Express.
But
Chessie
Express,
Seaboard Trans. Hang on, I got it. Chessie Seaboard Transportation Systems. That's what CSX stands for.
But what does the X in CS?
No. When you think about it, if you make one of the lines in X, go straight up, then move move the other line above it, and horizontal, what do you get?
No. No.
No. Look at my camera. Look at my camera.
No.
Hey, this makes
See,
sense. So you
move it
got
on
X
its
right
side.
here. So then you have
No.
to move like this, and then voila.
Okay. We were walking a very thin line, and I did not know what you were referring to. But okay, yes, the visual helps. Oh Lord. Okay.
Unfortunately, there's no
Wait,
visual
you
for the
thought he
people
was trying to
watching. There's no visual
Uh,
for people
Yeah.
watching.
Why does
Oh,
this
no.
always happen? Why can we not talk about
I feel
stuff?
like I don't mean to be rude, but I feel like this would be worse with Nick for some reason.
Yes.
Because
it would be.
because he would make all of us go stupid in a matter of 2 seconds. Like he'd say,
We
like
go
remember when we
beyond
were trying
that.
to rehearse.
Our
Remember
three-
when we were trying to rehearse? The
Anyways.
3 times we were trying to rehearse. One of
Anyways.
the times when he tried to do his intro, just a single small cough. Just a small cough. Just
Listen,
all of us
And
burst
then-
out
all
of
of
laughter.
all of our singular connected brain cells were fighting for 5th place.
Against nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the stream, AJ pulled up a picture that I took when I visited the Mad River Nickel Plate River Museum. That is a 1950s Ford flatbed truck that is crossing the tracks there. That is the double-tracked main line for Norfolk Southern, and that is a Wabash F unit with some assorted rolling stock around it. As I said, the Mad River Nickel Plate River Museum is one of the hot spots in the Midwest, and is definitely worth the visit because not only you get a river museum, but then you got rail fanning, and it's just a good little town to rail fan, in my opinion, as well as Fostoria and Deschler and Marion and all the other great towns around there. So
All right.
yeah.
So, I just want to. So we talked about 3 things so far: Menards, the Bicentennial, my rant on the Greenville, and the Nickel Plate Road Museum. So next thing I want to bring up
Florida.
in Florida. Post a Florida flag. I'll put it on here, I guess. So the next thing I want to ask about is, what are your guys' opinion on CSX's heritage units? Because they're just like, we still have.
They
more
are
rolling.
great.
They're different.
I love them actually. They're
for
different. They
starters, I
actually,
love that we actually
put their own
have
spin on it. They didn't just
people have
paint.
been asking for them for years.
I'm okay with the heritage units. I don't like them. I honestly think some of them are lazy, but they're okay. The heritage units are okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't
Yeah,
think
they-
they're great. They are no Norfolk Southern they are no Norfolk Southern heritage units, but they are good. They are good.
Exactly. They were trying to distance themselves from Norfolk Southern, and I think the cab fade just puts the heritage in heritage.
Can we all agree that at least it's not as bad as Union Pacific's Rio Grande?
Huh.
I mean, the Rio Grande. I mean, Union Pacific's Rio Grande unit's not that bad. I mean, I'll give my opinion. CSX for the longest time just had sticker units. Like they would just have a sticker unit that says the Spirit of Maryland, the Spirit of Huntington, or something like that. And
Spirit of
that
Chelsea.
was not, yes, or yes, that. And they were not the greatest. They were not heritage units. They were sticker units. And I will say that once CSX announced that, hey, we're going to be doing heritage units, I thought, finally. And then, yes, they're going with a different concept, but they're doing a heritage unit. It gives you something new to watch for instead of maybe, the standard YN3 or whatever paint scheme CSX uses nowadays. But I will say my favorite heritage units are the Norfolk Southern ones. I do like the Norfolk Southern ones, and I've caught 2 Norfolk Southern heritage units in person. I caught the Monongahela unit at Fostoria, and the Reading unit at Horseshoe Curve. And both locomotives looked pretty good. But I will say that CSX has put in a valiant effort to paint their heritage units. Some people are not going to like them. Some people like them very much. I would say I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm fairly neutral on them. While I think that they could have painted the whole body on them, right? Like cab and everything, and done and committed all the way. That would have been nice to see, like what Norfolk Southern did. But at the same time, it's better than having no heritage units and just a lame sticker unit.
Or
So
BNSF.
I'm gonna be honest.
Better than what BNSF.
So yeah, BNSF has just that one unit, I think.
We don't talk about that one.
But no,
did
now
I
that
ever
we're-
did I ever tell you the story of how I accidentally caught the B&O unit?
Hey, that was on accident. I thought you were trying to
No.
catch it.
So I was in Conneaut, Ohio at the museum there, and I was like, fine, I'll film one more train. That's why I didn't pan over when I saw it, because I just thought it was a normal GEVO. Apparently, no. I read the number. I'm like, wait a minute. Who are you?
Wait a minute.
Who are you?
Well, it's
Wait
kind of
a minute. Who?
Well, that's-
what would be like the most?
well, that's kind of funny. That's how I've caught two of the heritage units. I had absolutely no idea that they were, I had absolutely no idea that the Monongahela unit was coming through Astoria and the Reading unit was coming through Horseshoe Curve. I was just like, okay, I guess I'm going to catch a heritage unit today. Like, the Railfan guys threw me a bone today. Like, yeah.
All right. So
Honestly, my favorite of the bunch would have to be like 1973.
I like the Chessie, but I love the Pittsburgh and Lake Erie one the best.
Of course,
Surely there isn't a spike of
The Lake
gosh darn it, what's the word?
The Lake Erie energy is real.
My three favorite CSX heritage units are the Conrail, Pierre Marquette, and the New York Central. Those are my three favorites.
My four favorite would have to be like the Chessie, Seaboard System, and wait, what was it again? Yeah, I do love the Pierre Marquette, but I also love the Atlantic Coastline. It just somehow hit the mark with it.
So I'm just gonna be honest with you, that as much as why am I saying this? Sorry. All right, well, now that we've kind of, for the last topic of the day, I want to talk about Jimmy. So Jimmy has just started his YouTube channel and his YouTube journey, and I want you to talk about that. How have you been, Jimmy?
The things with the channel have been going good so far. I am currently working on the big Edaville video. It's not the photo charter from New Year's Eve of 2023. It's not the photo charter, but it was my trip to Edaville that December, and I'm working on it well, not as we're speaking, but yeah, I'm editing it. I'm getting the voiceovers done because I'm not focusing on Train Z. My channel is not all Train Z because no thank you, I'm not focusing on all digital trains. I'll do digital trains sometimes, not all the time. But
Digital trains are all I can focus on.
Yes.
I have I have barely any access to the outside world.
So
yeah.
How do you like speaking of which, how do you like the logo?
It is nice. I really yeah, thanks for making me the logo and the channel banner, by the way. That is nice. I like them.
I feel like
it's nice.
Let's see. Redline Overload also uses a logo I made for him, along with Union Pacific. I mean, yeah, Pacific.
Rio Grande Historia.
Yeah, Rio Grande
Historia.
Ashton. Acting along is having a strong.
You feel like you have a stroke because every time you do it, you feel like you're gonna die.
English so hard.
English, mother.
English. Do you
English,
speak it?
mother trucker. Do you speak it?
If we get age restricted for
For
saying
this.
trucker, I am going to be
Are we already
surprised.
age restricted?
Guys,
Now I'm going to be mad if
Thankfully not.
you're not gonna believe
Yet.
what email I just got.
No. No.
We did not get age restricted again.
Just kidding.
That was probably my fault. I'm sorry, guys.
Just kidding.
No way we got.
We got
Oh,
I hate my
I
man.
am about to go down to Pennsylvania with some whiskey.
No, Jimmy, 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 Jimmy,
Okay, my address is
Jimmy,
4081.
Jimmy. No, Jim, no, no, no.
Jimmy, please go to 815 Sharon Road.
Dude, you're doxing yourself on the internet.
No.
Don't do that. You will have foamers on your front
I've
door if one of
already
you
been-
want.
I've already been publicly doxxed.
No, sweet Herman. Anyways,
I'm serious.
what were we talking about? We were talking about Jimmy's YouTube channel.
I thought,
Yes. Back
Yeah.
to that.
So yeah, everyone's just using logos I make for them now, which is funny because I
Yes,
really do not think they're that good.
They're better than what we can make on our own. If I'm gonna be honest, if I had to try and find something to use as my channel logo, I'd probably have to take someone's photo off the internet and call it mine. Although that would be stealing, and I don't want to steal stuff. So
I'll steal
technically,
it. Nobody
I
will
would be
ever know.
I would be stuck with absolutely
No one will
nothing until
ever
I get an
know.
actually good photo.
All right, so gentlemen, anyways, so we've talked about Jimmy's YouTube channel that is completely derailed this live stream.
Yep.
How about we talk? How about the last thing we talk about, and this can be our closing topic, is volunteering in railway preservation. Do any of you guys? I know that you guys are a lot of you guys are younger than I am, and I did take the step, and I did start to volunteer in railroad preservation. I signed up for the Arizona River Museum in Chandler, Arizona, when I was living in Arizona. But unfortunately, plans have changed and things happened, and I will not be living in Arizona anytime soon. Probably not for a very long time, unless, plans change again. But I did take the step, and I did send an application for volunteer at the Arizona River Museum, and but unfortunately, I will not be able to volunteer. Unfortunately, because I won't be living there unless I fly out for a weekend and volunteer for a few days just to say that I did. But there are places in Michigan for river preservation. There is a river museum in my hometown, but it's a very small museum, and you don't really do much there. So I don't know if I'll volunteer there. There's a Steam Railroading Institute in Owasso, Michigan, where Paramount Cat Tool 25 is. There's the Hunkaberry Railroad, where 464 is. Jimmy, I know you get mad about that. You'll have to pry a K-27 for my cold dead hands. And then there's the steam trains in Greenfield Village and Dearborn, Michigan, that I may also go down and work on. So there are places that I could volunteer in Michigan as far as, steam trains. And I do plan to pursue a career on a local railroad in my hometown, as probably, if I can get hired on as a conductor trainee, eventually graduate to become an actual conductor, and then hopefully one day I'll be an engineer. And then, I could just do fun steam train stuff on the side. So that's kind of what I got to say. As I said, I did. It kind of took some, after watching videos and listening to podcasts and stuff of railroad preservation. It I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of intimidating to get into it because there are people in there who have been in there for a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, who knows how long. People who just know stuff, like people who can just list history or can just or they just know how this air pump works on the steam engine or something. Like, it is kind of intimidating to think about that, and then also got to think about, well, I don't know about you guys and how you guys feel, but I've sat in the cab of a few steam engines, and even smaller steam engines, I felt intimidated by just the sheer amount of stuff that's going on. Even a small little 280 narrow gauge locomotive, like at the Colorado River Museum, I believe it's one of the RGS consolidations. But
75.
I kind of feel, but yes, that one. I kind of feel intimidated by them, even a small engine. So, and then I kind of felt intimidated by just railway preservation. But I try to remind myself that, okay, I'm just going to go in with an open mind, listen to what they tell me, do what they tell me to do, and then slowly just shut up and learn. And then slowly I'll be able to share what I think I know, which I think the common joke is like, it's like you think you know about trains until you join a railway museum, and then you realize you don't know jack squat about trains, or maybe at least how they work or something, or maybe historical facts. And so that's kind of the thing. But I think that if you just go in with an open mind, you realize that, okay, I don't know as much as I think I do, but I'm going to go in, do the thing, work hard, have fun, just treat it with an open mind, and then I think you'll have a much better experience, which is something that I would still carry even into a day job or something in river preservation. But so what about you guys? Do you guys have any local tourist railroads or river museums that you guys would want to volunteer at or work at?
Not local, but
No.
I was given the opportunity. I was 12 or 13 at the time. I went up to Savannah, Georgia for I guess for the weekend. You know that big roundhouse museum with the GP35 and Central of Georgia 223?
Maybe. What's the name of it?
I need to look it up.
Okay.
Give me
Well, okay. So, well, Union Pacific. So we'll just round. We'll come back to UP Big Boy.
found it.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, it's just the Georgia State Railroad Museum. I was 12 or 13, so I had to wait until I was 15 to volunteer. Even then, it's not gonna happen because, actually, no, I can't disclose these reasons to the public. But really,
No.
just going from Florida to Savannah, it's really just not what my family would particularly invest in. Because keep in mind, I'm
Yeah,
me
fuel
liking
prices
trains is
and
kind of
car
foreign to most
maintenance
people.
stuff.
Alright. Would anyone
All
else
right.
like to go?
Okay, so
I'll go.
in the area of Florida where I live, we don't have a railroad museum. I mean, the closest thing we do have is a heritage park, which has preserved the depot of my town, along with an ACL caboose. However, I'm going to college in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah.
And you guys know that place is big into railroading.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My great
Yeah,
great
old
Yeah.
grandfather
Tennessee.
worked there.
1361.
Pennsylvania Railroad.
And actually,
1361.
I've got a little surprise for y'all. So at the school I'm going to, Penn State,
God bless your
Penn State has
soul.
has a campus in Altoona, and they have a railroad club there. And I actually got to go inside Juniata.
Did you want it?
Juniata shops.
Did you?
Yes.
Wow!
Words.
Holy cow!
Of course, they wouldn't let me take any pictures because you got to protect the privacy of the workers.
Of course, yes,
But
obviously.
still, but still, that's something I'll probably never do again because I'll never get the chance.
Yeah, well, that is unless you work for Norfolk Southern in the engine shop, but yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
don't you
Uh,
dare.
Yeah, so I remember, so just a quick side note on the Juniata locomotive shop.
Side note,
I
not
remember
rant.
watching, I know, this is truly a quick side note, I swear to God. Anyways, I remember watching the first episode of Extreme Trains that covered a Norfolk Southern coal train from a coal mine to somewhere else in Pennsylvania where they unload the coal for a power plant, coal-fired power plant. And it showed inside the Juniata locomotive shops where they had a crane that would come down, hook onto the locomotive, and then lift it from bay to bay. Like they could lift an entire locomotive, take it to the other side of the shop, and put it back down. They have a crane that can lift a locomotive. So,
Yeah,
anyways,
cranes-
continue on
cranes
Florida
do it.
Steamer.
Nice.
Uh,
I'm still.
uh,
I'm still.
AJ, is there anywhere where you want to volunteer in river preservation?
Jimmy, do you want to go and then me?
I can go last. I can go last. I have no problem with that.
Mine's gonna be a bit long, if that's okay.
I can wait.
So it's kind of a thing where it's complicated, because where I live, there's not very many train people, but there's a lot of railroad history, especially with the Greenville Railroad Museum. I am one of the few people that continuously goes there and documents it. So I know a lot of the people there, and while I was talking to one of the people, and one of my best friends, who is only 15, is a member there, I said that
Sorry, I just heard OnlyFans for some reason.
huh?
I just heard OnlyFans
Wait,
for
what?
some reason. No,
What? Oh, no, 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 no.
You
no,
Talk
my
about
ears
that.
just
No.
heard
Be quiet.
OnlyFans.
get out! Get out!
No. No.
I swear to God, my ears were just playing tricks on me, and I just heard only.
What you won't? I mean, you can like.
Shut up.
I mean, you can make
Shut
a
up.
lot of money.
Shut up. Shut up.
No, we're not. We're not that
down by
desperate.
the hands of YouTube.
Imagine if
We are about
imagine if
to
they
get
actually sponsored us.
Shut up.
You too.
You Pacific Big Boy, you'll be kicked from the VC. Shut up.
We are about to be
YouTube,
Can I-
mighted
please.
down.
Can I continue?
Anyone from the
please?
21st century, please do not watch this live stream.
Can we continue?
We are
please?
about to be taken down.
Okay,
Continue. Give it.
so
This is what happens when my ears play tricks on me.
listen. At least it's not as bad as what my brother would do if he was here. But
Oh dear.
anyways, back to what I was saying.
AJ, continue on.
So, I do actually help out at the Greenville Museum whenever, like, it's mostly small things, nothing big. For example, somebody decided it would be a smart idea to push the window out of 304, causing it to smash, so now they had to replace the window, so I helped them replace that. And one point they were restocking the fridge inside of the building, so I helped do that. I helped unlock everything. I'm usually there before they're even there, so I got to help with setting up the model trains there. Then they gave me a free they gave me a little patch that said junior member on it, like one of those buttons. So I'm hoping this
Hmm.
year I can actually see if I can become a member of the museum. Besides that,
Is
I
it a? Do you have to pay to become a member?
I'm
I
not
assume so.
no. It is purely on donations and taxpayers of Greenville.
Oh, nice. So you just have to sign up to
Yeah.
the thing because when I joined the Arizona River Museum, you had to pay. Yet you because the way that their insurance and museum is set up, which then again, it's a river museum. They got to make revenue. They got to make the money. Which you know.
I'm
So
sorry.
Um
anyways, so the Arizona River Museum, you had to pay to become a volunteer there, but you pay the I can't remember how much it was, but you pay that amount and then you become a volunteer. So, anyways,
so another thing is because I travel a lot. Also, my great great grandfather put all of my grandpa put all of my great great grandfather's Pennsylvania Railroad documents into that museum too. So for the longest time they were on display over there. And also
Hmm.
because I travel a lot, a lot of people know me now, like local police officers by Conway know me, like, and then most of the museums around where I live that they sort of know me. For example, the Conneaut Museum, which is a little bit of a long drive, but I've been thinking about maybe helping out there. So what I want to try to do this year is when I go this week actually. Um, my plan is I'm gonna ask if I could help clean 755, which has been really neglected because that museum is great, but at the same time, the people who take care of it are neglectful to say the least. But besides that,
Mm.
um, the Greenville Museum is the closest museum to me, and it's the museum that I like to go to the most. I know everyone there, and it's a museum I'd love to help out at. And if there's any other museums I'd want to help help, it would probably have to be either the NKP Museum, the Conneaut Museum, or the Oil Creek in Titusville. That's about it. Jimmy, your
Mm.
mic's hot,
All
so
right.
be careful. You
So
may burn your hand.
why? What? Is something about to blow
electrical
up?
resistance.
My main goal is to blow up.
Unfortunately, the microphone is not a girl, so it's not that hot, but it may burn your hand.
Ah, man. All right, but so
Phrasing.
so technically speaking, there not in the state of Massachusetts there are many railroad museums. There are not many. I there is the Edaville Railroad, but even then I think they're more a theme park than a museum and don't have volunteers. Like they'll have workers, not volunteers, so um I would technically need to apply. It would be like a job application to work at the Edaville Railroad. But yeah, no. But that's the closest place to me, and that's also the only place in Massachusetts that actually runs steam. And they're actually um every day every day in July and December. Well, almost every day in July and December, they run steam trains, and all those other days, the railroad is kind of just so they have some days that are like they take a break and some days they're operational. They barely use the oldest locomotive that's been on the Edaville Railroad property since when Edaville was founded sometime in the 1940s, 50s, or 60s. Definitely the 50s or 40s was when Edaville Railroad was founded. But the railroad museum that I would probably volunteer at would be the Berkshire Railroad Museum in North Adams, Massachusetts, because they have a small little stretch of track, just a little bit, not a lot, but they got like a mile or two of track, and they run RDC trains. They were New Haven RDCs. They own one RDC, but one of their streamlined RDCs from the New Haven, which was originally from the Hobo Railroad, which is now Granite State Railroad.
Jimmy, your microphone is breaking up.
He's fine on our
Wi-Fi.
end.
Jimmy, your microphone was breaking up a lot right there.
Also, Jimmy, funny you mentioned something about Hobo Railroad. At the Greenville Museum, underneath the main sign, there is a little thing that says Hobo Railroad.
Someone's been to the Hobo Railroad.
Looks like they stole a sign.
Someone's been there. Stole a sign. The Hobo Railroad isn't even in Massachusetts. That's New Hampshire. But
Where's
if
Massachusetts?
if I ever am in Maine for a couple of weeks, I'll volunteer at either the Maine Narrow Gauge Railroad Museum or the Wiscasset, Waterville, and Farmington, mostly because I like anything narrow gauge. Anything narrow gauge, I love it. Yes, I just like it. It's nice. It's nice stuff. It's 2 foot, and there's not much 2 foot in America at all. I think there's like 1 2 foot operation in Michigan, and that's pretty much it. And I think that's like the Neo Wilson and thing farms. I don't know.
So,
I forget. It's been a while since I've checked in.
if I remember correctly, the Jones and Locke one is 23, which is technically 2-inch, but it's not. I don't think it's what you guys are thinking about. But is that
All right,
all?
gentlemen.
It's like an inch. So 23 is an inch smaller than actual 2 foot.
Close enough.
Close enough.
It's close enough to 2 foot. It's 1 foot, 9 inches, I think. I don't know.
All right.
But
All right, I believe that's everything. So we can probably wind the stream down. AJ, take the stage. Wind this thing down.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, I want to first of all, I want to thank you all for coming on for the first episode. All of you who have stayed, I want to personally thank Jimmy and Redline for coming on stream and, well, kind of speaking their thoughts. I would subscribe to Railroad Dude 7470. He's an amazing person. His content, he's still trying to work out the kinks, so it would be great to support him now. Keep that ball pushing. Along with...
And criticism is very well appreciated.
Yep. Along with Redline Overload, his channel is also really good. I would highly suggest checking it out. His content is also amazing. I do not know...
I'll figure out my rail fanning stuff here in a minute. I'll figure out my rail fanning stuff eventually. But I do have plenty of model trains, so maybe I should do some videos on those.
So, I have no clue on if Florida Steamer has a YouTube at all.
I do, but there's like 4 videos on it.
Do you still want me to shout it out, or do you not want me to?
No, please do so.
Is it in your bio?
Well, no, just maybe check out Florida Steamer on you. Just check out my YouTube channel. It's under my. Actually, no, because it has my real name, and I don't.
Okay. Well,
Actually, yeah,
you could just
it's under my real name, Colin Romeo. So search up Colin Romeo on YouTube. That's me.
All right.
all right then.
Again, Unrealistic Pacific Foamer. You before we end this, you've been working on a 311 thing, haven't you?
Yes, we are trying to get more people on this. We need to expand the crew before we can actually do this. Mostly art team, voice actors, and script writers because we need we're trying to make this as revamped as possible.
Trying to
I heard
put
voice acting.
At least it cannot be as bad as the VHS.
I heard
tapes.
voice acting.
Okay, I'll send you the link to the server right now. You're desperate.
And
All right.
Yeah. Yes.
give me money.
that
Give
concludes
me
that.
money.
Give me money.
All right, Ashton, I would say we've concluded this stream.
Yeah, I just want
Thanks for having me.
everyone who's been watching. Thank you for watching. Everyone who's been here, I hope you had a great time. Maybe come back for another episode. We will gladly let anyone come along. So now, for the last thing.
Join the Discord.
The Discord, what do you mean? You mean the Discord we're now filming, recording this?
No, your other Discord servers.
Oh, the main one, yeah.
Yes, join that one. It's fun.
The last thing, the complete last thing, I promise you, this is the last thing.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. So,
There's more. Oh.
No.
what if we...
No.
So what if we invite a special guest on here? Like a big YouTuber.
It's doubtful, but no. If we even get him on here, he would be like, "What is happening?"
I am in contact with Thunderbolt, so there's a possibility we can get him on here.
The Thunderbolt 1000.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's friends with them.
That exact one.
yeah, I'm friends.
Holy mackerel. Holy Santa Fe, that'd be awesome.
Y'all just figured that out.
No, I knew it. Mostly because I've seen Thunderbolt 1000 and Ashton talk before. I've seen those two talk to each other before in the comment section on a community post.
He also
Great.
put out the logo I made for him for his birthday on his community. So.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Thank you for coming along. I'm about to end stream. Everyone say goodbye to chat.
Bye-bye.
Join the
And remember,
Discord.
everyone,
Like, subscribe,
remember, everyone,
notifications
Dash
on.
9 is the best
Bye.